Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of Takes from the Lakes podcast. This is Nash with your co host, James. We are very excited to bring you our first bit of MLB and NBA content, as well as an additional special segment at the end of the podcast. We hope to make
Surprise
this one a
segment.
little bit shorter for everyone, but I think we're going to just go ahead and kick it off with some MLB news, talk about the All Star game a bit.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, James is our resident Major League Baseball expert.
Wearing
My
the Red Sox
Royals
jersey right now.
are absolutely horrific. So maybe someday when we're good again,
Hmm.
I will be up to snuff on my knowledge. But what's first on the docket for today, James?
Well, I think first we should just talk about the Orioles, who are 44 and 44 after being projected to be, I mean, they are the last in the AL East, but being projected to be one of the worst teams in baseball in general. It's really crazy they're at 500. They're insanely ahead of schedule. They have the first overall pick in the draft, which is this week, which is actually insane. It's kind of cool how the draft in the middle of the year, how these teams who actually aren't that bad
Of
can end up having
course.
high picks. But I think that we should talk a little bit about them and just how like ahead of schedule they are. And I've seen a little bit that they might be trading for, or they might just be buyers in general at the deadline, which is really crazy to think because
Well, but
they
who
were
have you heard that they were trading for? I'm
um
interested.
one
I'm
guy is
intrigued.
Luis Castillo from the Reds. He is like the
Oh,
main
okay.
He's the main, I guess, asset on the block for, I mean, obviously he plays for the Reds, so he's on the
Yeah.
block, but
He's got to be one of the best players on that team, right?
yeah, he is the best player on that team, I'd say. But he's a great
He's
pitcher,
got a
but
funky delivery. Love him
mhm,
though.
yeah. But I have seen a little bit of talk about him going to the Orioles, which is definitely surprising. He's got, let me see. He's having a really good year. 2.92 ERAs, having
Yeah,
pretty
it's amazing that they're
mm-hmm. Hello.
um
Oh yeah, you're good. All
yes.
right.
It's amazing that they're buyers, but at the same time, with the
Mm-hmm.
whole not being able to trade picks thing like you
Mm-hmm.
can in other sports, it adds a
Yeah.
new layer. If they
Mm-hmm.
have the number one overall pick, I'm
Yeah.
excited to see who my Royals draft.
Mm-hmm.
They're as always high,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
I
Mm.
mean
Nothing's
the
really changed in
Orioles
the
have
Reds past couple
Rutschman,
years. Mm-hmm.
a
Rushman they
lot of
called up. They have a stacked farm system. Basically their whole infield is not great except for Mountcastle at first, but from what I've heard, next year they'll bring up all their guys and their second baseman, third baseman, shortstop will all be different because they're definitely that's where they're lacking. Their bats aren't bad. Their pitching isn't great, but I think they have one of the brightest futures in MLB due to them obviously being a 500 team and having one of the best farm systems. But they're 9-1 in their last 10. They've won. I don't know if they lost
they know they
the
no
other
they
day.
won 9 in a row.
Yeah, they've won 9 in a row. They
Um,
just swept the Angels, who are on a crazy skid. They swept the Rangers before that. The last time they lost was to the Twins on July 2nd, which is just pretty crazy.
and
Um,
funny story, funny
mhm.
story. My dad was at that game,
Which game? When the
the
Orioles
one that
lost?
they lost to the Twins.
Huh?
Yes.
Why was he at that game?
I think he was meeting a friend or
Hmm.
something. But that's great. Maybe my dad's just good
He's
luck.
just yeah. Or
Um,
I guess he's bad luck
but
because he's well. If you think well, I guess he is good luck because he
he's both.
went to the last game they lost, but also kind of started the once he left Baltimore, they started going on a winning streak. But
Baltimore just doesn't like him, I
yeah,
guess.
Baltimore doesn't
But
like him. They saw
I
him
mean,
again, they're like,
yeah,
all right, uh-huh.
a lot of great talent coming out of uh the Orioles farm system. Grayson Rodriguez has been doing well,
Mm-hmm.
the young pitcher. And then
Obviously
as
Rutschman.
locals to Norfolk or the Norfolk area, we get to see the Tides, their
Yeah,
AAA
I
team
have a
play
Tides cup for
often.
those watching on YouTube. I have a Tides cup right here, right next to
Yes,
me. Yeah,
they've
but
got the Red Sox farm team in town tonight.
yeah, I wanted to go to that game or maybe go to a game, but I don't really know when I could
Yeah, you
find
know,
time. But
of all these pitching tonight
oh, that's right, he's on his
on
rehab, yeah,
rehab, yeah,
because the whole Red Sox pitching core is injured, sadly. But
yes.
yeah, I mean, the AL East, man, every team over or at or over 500. Blue Jays kind of having a rough year. They just fired their manager, Charlie Montoyo. They're sitting at 46 and 42, which is pretty crazy to think how they don't have a horrible record, but they still fired their still fire their manager. Just goes to
See,
show how high
my
expectations.
my problem with that is like I get it if it's a team of veterans, but when your core is a bunch of young guys like Vladdy and Bo Bichette, like
Yeah.
Alec Manoah too, like
Mm-hmm.
how are they gonna deal with that? I
Yeah.
don't know. It just seems like the wrong move for a team that's like still
Mm-hmm.
contending. But what
Yeah.
do I know?
I mean, they're still a very young team. It's not like they could not like even if they don't make the playoffs there. It's not like they'll be screwed in the
Yeah.
future. I mean, they great pitching core. Gosman's great. Barrios hasn't been great, but he still has lots of potential. I mean, he has been great in the past, but and obviously Manoah is great. But yeah, AL East we got Red Sox 47-41. I'm a Red Sox fan. They're an interesting team. We were like 10
Devers is
games.
so good.
Devers is
Oh my
awesome.
goodness.
We need to extend him, but I don't
Oh,
know if we will. We had a rough start to the season, but then we had like a crazy month of June. Kind of have cooled off since then. We did play a very good series against the Yankees though. Went 2 out of 4, but we did hit off of Nestor Cortez and Garrett Cole. But
heard
Rays
Story got hurt last night though.
yeah, Story got like he has like a I'm not sure how his X-rays turned out, but he got like hit in the hand. What I heard was just like a hand contusion. Um, but I'm not
Sorry.
sure how that. Hopefully the X-rays didn't turn out.
The AL Central, as far as I know, is still the sorriest division in
Mm-hmm. The
baseball.
AL Central. Well, the thing is, the White Sox they're a good. I mean, they have the guys. They're 42-45. They're not having a great year. In my opinion, they're going to be sellers at the deadline. They're going to lose to Abreu. They have. I
Oh,
think Tony La Russa is a horrible manager. I would not want to play for him. He just is like, dude.
we talked
I
about
would.
this too.
Yeah.
James doesn't like the grumpy old guy.
I love Bill
He's
Belichick though.
not a fan. Okay, well,
Everyone loves
that's
him.
that's 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 called bias.
Okay, well,
Everybody.
I'd still respect Bill Belichick if I wasn't a Pats fan. But yeah, you got White Sox 42-45. Very disappointing year. Guardians very ahead of schedule. They're a fun team. They have a great farm system.
I
Twins.
mean, what hurts with the Guardians is that they shouldn't like they could be a contender if they didn't make some questionable moves.
Yeah.
Like losing Lindor should
Hmm.
never have happened.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens
Them
when you
and
just
the
can't pay guys
Twins.
like that. Yeah. I mean, the Twins are the first in 49-41. Obviously signed Correa. They've Buxton is awesome. Buxton is an incredible
Buxton is
player.
so good.
That has
Buxton,
some.
I remember he started off his career and he was horrible. He got
Yeah.
sent back down several times,
Hmm.
and now he's amazing.
Yeah.
And the Royals and the Tigers are still bottom
Yep, they're the
feeders.
bottom
But
feeders in the
we
AL
did
Central
we swept the doubleheader the other day. So
against who?
the Tigers.
Oh, the Tigers. Yeah, the Tigers. Javi Baez, big signing of their offseason, been one of, if not the worst hitter in baseball to have to actually play. They're just a rough all around team, man. And if it wasn't Miggy's last year, it would they would probably nobody would talk about them other than the fact that they're horrible. But obviously, the Royals, they're the Royals. They have not been good for many years. Bobby Witt's awesome though, but
MJ
yeah,
Melendez is awesome
MJ
too.
Melendez is also
I
awesome.
believe in Brady Singer.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
time
All
will
right.
tell.
Mm-hmm. The AL West, Astros, incredible team. I mean, say what you want about them being cheaters and stuff like that. But I mean, or say that they aren't cheaters and that they didn't cheat, but you know, I don't. It's kind of a rough topic. I mean, some players did cheat, some players didn't. Like Altuve did not cheat, but he gets framed as Nash. I don't know if you watch, but have you watched the Baseball Doesn't Exist video, YouTube video? Do you know what channel
No,
that
I have
is?
not.
Oh, but
I'm yeah, but I know it.
yeah, I would recommend watching that video. It really helps clear up the Astros cheating scandal. And basically just says how like they did cheat, but Altuve is not the guy to like blame for it, and that
So
he
who did
actually
it and who didn't?
well
Who
literally it
who am
was
I blaming?
I mean literally almost everyone but Altuve, and you can like I'm sure you've seen the stuff about him hitting the walk off Chapman and like them not telling him to take his shirt off, which definitely is sketch. But I mean I think it's mainly just all pretty much everyone else, Correa, Bregman, Gurriel. I think Bregman and Correa are the main guys to be contributed towards it. But I mean look at this. They didn't even need to cheat. They're 57-29, and obviously they're not cheating anymore. least you don't think. But
Jordan is so good.
Jordan is incredible. I'd say he's a top 3 hitter in baseball. I could see your case for saying he's the best hitter in baseball. He leads literally every advanced stat. Like literally name it an advanced stat. He's at least top 3 in it, which is just absurd.
He leads the advanced stat of nuke hitting as well.
He hits nukes. He can ball. That's all you need. You don't need any advanced stats.
I saw something the other day. Do you remember the Little League World Series guy?
Which guy?
Big Al.
Big Al, yeah.
Nukes.
That's
Jordan.
That's Jordan. Reincarnated. Or maybe Jordan is. Wait, maybe Big Al is Jordan reincarnated. I don't know. Anyway, I wonder how old Big Al is now. He's probably like 20 or something. Still hitting dingers. Mariners second in the AL West.
Possibly the most exciting team.
Yes, they are the hottest team in baseball. Them and the Orioles are the hottest teams in baseball. They are an incredible team to watch. Oh my God, they are so fun. Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, so ahead of schedule, has been amazing this year. He was named an All-Star, obviously, in his rookie year. They got Logan Gilbert, one of the best pitchers in the AL, having also an incredible year. I believe he is still a rookie, but it is his second year in MLB.
What's the rule with that? I've never understood that.
Basically, I believe it's if you don't start your season in the majors, like game 1 of 162, you don't start in the majors, the next season you're still a rookie. So like Adley will be a rookie next year because he didn't start in MLB. But J-Rod will not be a rookie next year because he played game 1.
Like Bobby Witt played.
Bobby Witt played game 1, so he will not be.
Or like if you're on the team game 1.
Yeah, but then it's weird because you have guys like Randy Arozarena, who was a rookie last year, and it was like his 4th year in MLB, which is just like kind of absurd. So I'm not really sure about how that.
Randy Arozarena, do you remember how crazy he was in that playoff?
That playoff run, 2020 playoff.
I mean, that was just like unbelievable.
I mean, he set the record for most home runs in the playoffs. I mean, given he did play more games and he had the extra wild card series, but still, yeah, he's still good, but he's an exciting player. Rangers.
He got a smooth swing.
Yeah, he does have a nice swing. Same with Wander Franco. He's awesome. Rangers 3rd in the AL West. Simeon's been horrible.
Their signings have been a little bit disappointing.
Yes, Simeon's picked it up a little bit, but he's been really bad. Corey Seager's been bad. I don't even know. Martin Perez has been incredible for them, which makes literally no sense because for the Red Sox last year he was like just absolutely horrible, and it just goes to show how baseball is just like the craziest sport because one guy 1 year a guy can go out and have a 5 ERA and come out next year and
it's because the margins are so fine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing about
when you're hitting 95, it's just it's just tough.
That's the thing about baseball. It really is harder to understand it because you have guys that come out of nowhere and will be the best reliever in the league. And like Clay Holmes, he was horrible with the Pirates, but now he's the best reliever in the league with the Yankees. And
that's why being consistently good is just,
it's just incredible.
Anybody can go on a run.
I'm not gonna say Simeon's a horrible player, but look at him last year. He was 2nd, 3rd in the MVP, and he's batting.
I'm very familiar with Simeon because I always felt like the Royals saw a lot of him.
Yeah.
And we saw him in the playoffs a couple times.
Yeah.
He's always been just extremely mediocre.
Yeah. But he's been a solid player. Yeah.
His whole career he's been solid to mediocre. And everybody was touting him as a star. Because pitchers were pitching him like he was solid to mediocre and not a power threat. And he just decided he was going to hit dingers while he was in Toronto.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is an easy place to hit dingers.
And then that lineup too. But yeah, I agree. Angels, they're having the Angels, man. It's rough. It's rough out here. You have Trout and Ohtani. Ever since they fired Joe Madden. Even when they fired Joe Madden, they were horrible. They're still horrible. It's just Trout and Ohtani need to play somewhere else, dude. Like every year. I mean, they started off really great, and I was getting excited they were gonna make the playoffs. I mean, Strauss played in one playoff series in his whole career, and he got swept, and that was when they were the 1 seed. I'm pretty sure. So like,
By the Royals.
yeah, they gotta switch things up. They're
Mm,
1-9 their last 10. They gotta. I mean,
I'm talking about.
hmm they're gonna have to pay Otani a lot of money, so I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep him. Obviously, they're paying Trout, to whatever 300 something
Please get
mil.
rid of them both.
Yeah,
Package them in a deal to the Royals. We'll use their
yeah,
talent well.
okay, I'm sure.
We don't
Um,
have the money for that, do we?
yeah, no,
We are
not
so poor.
yeah. And then the Athletics, they're the A's, man. They're horrible. They're one of the worst teams in baseball, maybe the worst team in baseball. There's not really much to say about them. They have, I mean,
They
Ramon
haven't been
Mariano, and that's
relevant
it.
since they had Ricky Henderson.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
That's a stretch, but
Yeah, that's a really the stretch. They've been good. They just haven't. I don't think they made the ALCS in many years. But
Brett
I guess
Brett Laurie, just bad luck for that
sure,
franchise.
right. I guess we'll just run through all the divisions and teams real quick. But National League, NL
We
East.
should take a little break. I think. Let's go over the All-Star teams.
Oh, All-Star teams. All right. All-Star starters for the AL. Let's go. Catcher Alejandro Kirk. Infield, Vladdy Guerrero Jr., Jose Altuve, Rafi Devers, Tim Anderson. Outfield, Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, and Carlos Stanton. DH, Shohei Ohtani. Somehow Shohei, I mean, obviously Shohei should have made the All-Star game, but he should not have made it as a starter over Jordan. That's just absurd to me. Tim Anderson should not have made it over Bogey. That's actually not a biased take.
Over who?
Over Bogarts and Bogarts.
Okay.
But it's actually not.
Somebody likes the Red Sox.
I mean, I am wearing his jersey right now, so but and then National League, Wilson Contreras catcher, infield is Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt, Jazz Chisholm, Manny Machado, Trey Turner, outfield, Ronald Acuna, Mookie Betts, Jock Peterson, DH Bryce Harper, but he's hurt, so it's William Contreras from Atlanta, which makes absolutely no sense because he's played
Now,
40 games. William Contreras has.
is he Wilson Contreras' brother?
Yes, he is. I believe it is
Okay.
the first time brothers have ever started the All-Star, or like the first time in a long time brothers have started the All-Star game, which is pretty sick.
Yes.
But I mean, you can say what you want about snubs and stuff for starters, but it doesn't matter, man. They still make the All-Star game. They still get the experience. They still get that on their track record. I don't really care about
who
that stuff.
cares?
Yeah, nobody cares about it. It's all. I mean, I think being an All-Star snub versus like being an All-Star versus not being an All-Star is a thing to talk about. But starter
Okay,
versus
yeah.
reserve.
Who was a snub for the team?
A snub. The biggest snubs were, Will Smith for the National League over. I mean, just in general.
Well, he shouldn't have hit Chris Rock.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
honestly.
You're right. Yeah. He's been the best NL catcher, but he did not make the All-Star game. Carlos Rodon for the Giants. I believe he did make it because of injuries, but yeah, he did make it because of injuries. But at first he wasn't, which is just insane. But the thing is, there's always a bunch of guys in MLB that are great that just don't make the All-Star game because they're their name, then nobody knows who they are. Like, I mean, I watch the Red Sox, so I know who this guy is, but like John Schreiber, you probably don't know who that is, Nash, right? John Schreiber.
I can make an educated guess.
What? Okay, what's your guess?
Relief pitcher.
Yes, he is a relief pitcher, but look at this,
Ah,
like 30 innings.
I mean, a man named John Schreiber
Hmm.
cannot play the infield. I can
Yeah,
tell
that's
you
that's
that
true.
with 100% certainty.
All right, but anyways, John Schreiber, 30 innings, 12 hits, .6 ERA, but he didn't make the All-Star game because nobody knows who he is. Like, that's just, I mean, obviously, I mean, there's
So
guys
is he
that,
really an all-star though? If nobody like, I don't know, maybe somebody deserves it, but like, isn't part of making the all-star game that like you're a star to watch?
yes, yeah. I mean, I think that it's not the whole thing, but I think that being a star, especially with MLB trying to, up their ratings, and
Yeah,
it's a
brand
dying
itself.
sport, some people say, but I think it really does make a difference. There are guys that aren't, big name guys, but they're also,
I mean,
guys like
that's
John
why
Schreiber.
Shohei is so important to the game.
Yeah, exactly. I
I
mean,
mean,
without
guys like
Shohei,
yeah,
yeah. he's just adding so much to the game, which is awesome. But yeah.
Love showing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we just went through the MLB All-Star. I think we're at 20 minutes, probably pick it up real quick, but we'll run through the NL. Let's see. NL. We got
By the
Mets.
way, just a quick note: the home
Yeah.
run derby is going to be amazing.
The home run derby is gonna be awesome,
Absolutely
like it always is.
unreal.
Also,
You got
I
young
forgot to tell you before
stars.
the pod, Nash, but Kyle Schwarber is doing it as well, which is gonna be
Oh,
fun.
unreal.
It's gonna be awesome
I
All-Star or
mean,
home run derby.
you've
Like
got
it's
you've
always
got the
insane.
guys who only hit home runs. You
Mm-hmm.
got young stars. You got
Yep.
superstars. I
You
mean,
got old guys.
what
Albert
more could you
Pujols.
want?
Yeah. It's gonna be really fun, like it always is. In LA too, can't get much
If
better than that.
Pujols wins, I
That'd be
will
funny.
sell everything that I have.
I'll buy it off you. All right, NL East. Mets in first. They're awesome. DeGrom's coming back. Scherzer just came back. Their lineup's great. They're just a great overall team. Braves are incredibly hot the last 1 or 2 months. I mean, Spencer Strider, rookie, great pitcher. Hits 102 on the daily. He's one of the upcoming guys of the Braves, and obviously they have their their studs.
The new age of pitchers.
Yeah,
Throwing
you should
absolute
see his
heat.
mustache too. His just overall look. Like if you have not watched Spencer Strider pitch, you should because he wears tweeners. He has really tight pants. He has like the biggest like legs ever. He has like this amazing mustache, and he throws 102. And he'll let you know when he dots the outside corner. Like it's really fun to watch. But so I love him. But Phillies in third, Marlins fourth, Nats fifth. Who
Gosh, the
cares?
Nats really fell off after
Nats
making
really
that
did. Once they signed
run.
Strasburg to the big extension, they just went downhill, man.
I mean, yeah.
They're still paying Corbin. Corbin's one of the worst pitchers in baseball. Marlins are up and coming. Sandy Alcantara is incredible. Phillies.
Jazz Chisholm is so
Jazz
good.
Chisholm
His
is awesome.
meteoric rise has been unreal.
Yes, Jazz Chisholm is awesome. Phillies, they're a bunch of mid, man. They're a bunch of mid. They have great players. They have the stars. Obviously, Bryce Harper's injured, but they just can't put it together. I mean, they've been better in the last month or so, but
Does Didi Gregorius still play for them?
Yes, he does.
He's always my favorite player that didn't play for the Royals. I love that man.
Really? Huh.
His swing is so smooth.
He does have a nice swing.
And he just gets so hot sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Didi Gregorius. When Didi Gregorius wins MVP, come back to
I'm
this
sure
podcast.
you will. Yeah, okay. NL Central, Brewers in first. Man, they can pitch. That's an understatement. Corbin
That's just such
Burns.
a weird team to be first.
I know, because like last year, when they played the Braves in the ALDS, they just couldn't hit, but they pitched like crazy. All the games were like 4 runs combined. Like if they can hit, they are a scary team. Obviously, they've got the guys pitching.
It's another example of like Corbin Burns. Where did you come from?
Exactly. Corbin Burns was one of the worst pitchers in, I believe it was 2020. But let's see. Like was literally
kind of wasn't even pitching at all.
Well, yeah, let's see. 2020, 2020 he was, but 2019, guess his ERA in 2019.
6.
8.82.
Oh my goodness.
This is what I'm talking about. Baseball is amazing. This is why baseball is the best sport.
And Brandon Woodruff, he had been so mediocre his whole career.
Exactly, yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's just a superstar.
Yeah, but for those who don't know, Corbin Burns won the Cy Young last year after having just an incredible year, 2.43 ERA, 234 strikeouts. I mean, he's didn't walk a guy for the first however many starts it was, and he said that
was crazy.
That was awesome, yeah. But
and I mean,
having a great year too this
watching a pitcher's duel when you're just striking guys out over and over again is so amazing to me.
It is pretty sick
because you think these are guys who pretty much train all day every day to hit a ball, right?
Exactly.
And they just can't because you're that good. I mean,
that's all baseball is, man.
I sound like an idiot. I sound like an idiot saying that.
Yeah.
But it is true.
I mean,
it's weird
true.
to think about.
It's a simple way of explaining it, yeah. But All right, let's continue. We got Cardinals next, second in the NL Central. I love Tommy Edman. Great. He's been one of, if not the best defensive player in baseball. Having a great year at the bat as well. Obviously, Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt, maybe could win NL MVP, which is pretty crazy, but awesome.
I mean, honestly, he fell off so hard
Mm-hmm.
with his last years with the Diamondbacks, and then
Yeah,
in the
and look
move,
at him.
and
Mhm.
now he's. I mean,
Yeah,
gosh, and Jack Flaherty being terrible. I know we've talked
yeah,
about this. That just makes me so sad.
yeah.
Another
We'll
one of
see.
my
We'll see if he
very
can come
favorite
back. That'll
players.
be big, really big for
He
them if he
has
can come back.
some of the most elite stuff I've
Yes,
ever
he
seen.
does. When he's fully healthy, he's pretty great. But Pirates next. O'Neal Cruz is awesome. I think that's all I need to say about that team. And I think we can move on. O'Neal Cruz is awesome. 4 words. Cubs at 4,
Cubs are irrelevant, which
Cubs, man.
again is painful. They had that amazing
That
core of
amazing team.
players.
Yep.
Chris Bryant. I mean, yeah,
I
Chris
mean, and
Bryant.
now they got guys, Wilson
And you know what?
Contreras might be
It all
gone, but
started when Addison Russell got suspended for PEDs. You remember
yeah.
Addison Russell?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's bad luck.
Yep.
Bad luck. But
Mm-hmm.
that team is going to only get worse in the near future.
Yeah.
And it might be a little bit hard to watch if you're a Cubs fan. So
Yep. I mean,
watch
it
out.
already is hard to watch.
Find a
But
new sport, Cubs fans.
hey, switch to the Bears. Oh wait, the Bears are the worst team in the NFL. Or
The
switch to the
Bulls
White
might be
Sox. The
good
White
next
Sox are
year.
horrible. Yeah, the Bulls might be good. True. I'm glad the
I
Bulls are
mean,
good. It's good for the city of Chicago. They can have a good.
Loyola Chicago always does good in the tournament. There
True.
you go.
True. All right. The Reds. Brandon Drury's having a great year for them for no reason at all, because that's just baseball, man. But I mean, it's not. I mean, Luis Castillo's obviously great. Hunter Green's not having a great year, but man, he has incredible stuff. I mean, I think
Jonathan India is just so smooth.
I know, yeah, he is. He's
Great in the field. Good
mhm.
hitter.
Joey
Absolutely
Votto.
awesome name. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
the
Joey
name
Votto.
value is unreal.
Right. Joey Votto not having a great year, which sucks because I love Joey Votto.
Can't
Another
stand Joey Votto.
another baseball doesn't exist reference, but Nash, you should watch the baseball doesn't exist video on Joey Votto. Or everyone listening, look up baseball doesn't exist on YouTube, and then watch the video on Joey Votto. It just goes to show how just like crazy this guy. I mean, not crazy. He's just a funny guy, and just doesn't care what people think of him. And I mean, it made me think a lot differently about him, and maybe like him a lot more. But he's batting 211 this year. He has picked it up recently, but sadly not probably having the worst statistical year of his career, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that's
Last
the
division
Reds.
in baseball.
Yeah,
One of the most stacked. I mean, the Dodgers are maybe the best team ever.
yeah. Dodgers, they don't
Murderers
really
Row
have
type good.
flaws at all. I mean, you know, I mean, Walker Buehler's out till I think the playoffs. Chris Taylor's hurt. You know, they
Virginia
just
Beach native.
Virginia Beach
Shout out
native.
Chris Taylor.
Yes. I
Ox
mean,
High School.
yeah. When they're healthy, they're great. I mean, even when they're not healthy, they're still great. Mookie, Trey Turner, Freddie. Have you seen this stuff with Freddie Freeman on his like contract stuff with the Braves?
Yes.
Yes, it's really crazy. I don't know what side I should believe, because like,
Hold on. But it doesn't quite make sense to me. Like, what's going on?
So basically, I'll try to be quick with it, but basically, Freddie Freeman, obviously, so Freddie Freeman's been with the Braves his whole career, but at the end of end of the last year, he supposedly wanted to re-sign with the Braves. The Braves gave him, well, let's see. He wanted to resign with the Braves, but his agent didn't tell him about the Braves contract offer, and he was just like, "Oh, they didn't offer to resign you, and then let's sign with the Dodgers. They're offering you this much money." And then Freddie Freeman's like, "Okay." And so, but apparently the Braves actually did offer him a contract that was not as much as the Dodgers, but people are saying they still would have re-signed with them. But and obviously his agent is coming out and saying that's not true and blah, blah, blah. And Freddie Freeman just played in Atlanta and was like sad the whole time and was like crying on the bench. And crying on the field. Like he obviously was like realized that he made a mistake or that, you know, stuff went down behind the
Wow.
scenes. But like it's so obvious that he wants to be in Atlanta.
Because
And at
I
first,
saw the crying,
and
but
at first I was like, Freddie, dude, why didn't you just re-sign with Atlanta? Like this kind of like why are you this sad? You could just re-sign with them. But then I've seen all this stuff, and I still don't know if I believe it. I probably would say that I wouldn't, and that he could have just been like had common sense and realized that they re-signed or wanted to re-sign him. But like still, it's still more information has to come out. But it's
that's
a
crazy.
very interesting topic
And
and just
what's
situation.
wrong with Cody Bellinger? Like it
Man,
just
he
seems to keep
sucks. He
getting worse
sucks.
and worse.
Yeah, I mean,
He was honestly the most electric player to watch,
yeah.
like
Mhm.
of all time.
Yes. I mean,
So crazy
he
good.
basically he's just he had one bad year and has tried to change his swing. Like, I mean, again, that's the third time I mentioned it, but baseball didn't exist has come out with the video on him. But like he's just tried so much, like to change so much about his swing and done all these little like tiny adjustments that it's just like completely messed it up. And obviously he's not, mentally, I mean, right. I mean, he's not like mentally ill, but like he's meant just not, you know,
He's not
he's
in the right
not
headspace.
there. Yeah, exactly. He's not in the right headspace, and you can just tell when he's playing. Like he gets in his own head, or maybe he doesn't, but that's just what it seems like to me. But I still think he can be good. I mean, obviously he shows flashes and stuff.
Still
He
young.
showed flashes during last players. Yeah, he's still young. He's like what 26 maybe. Let's see, Cody Bellinger. But yeah, definitely. You know, he's 27, so still young, very young. Well, not very young, but still young. But next is the Padres, 50 and 39. Still have to get Tatis back. You know, they're a pretty
When
good
he's
team.
healthy,
When
which
he's
he never
healthy,
is. But I
yes,
mean,
he's might be the
wow.
most electrifying player in baseball. He's incredible. Um, you know,
So
and
many. Honestly, there's so many guys who are like making the game
I know
great.
baseball is in an awesome position right now. There's so many guys that are just so fun to watch, and it's really incredible. But
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, Tatis. I mean, and Petco Park. Just
sick
shout out
stadium. Have you
the
been there?
coolest stadium. Yes,
Yeah,
I
I've
have
been to
the
many
coolest
games there. Yeah,
stadium.
it's cool.
And
So
oh, that's
sick.
right. You're a
Yeah.
San Diego native.
Yeah, I lived in San Diego for 3 years, others I don't know. And I went to a ton of Padres games back before they had Tatis. Back when they actually had James Shields, who they traded for Tatis, which
Oh,
is kind of funny. But yeah, okay, I think we should pick this up real quick. But Giants, 45-42, you know. Um
hold
they're
on, hold on, hold on.
uh-huh.
James Shields.
Yes.
No, he started his career with the Rays. I was just making sure that the Royals didn't trade Tatis for James Shields.
No, it was the
That
White
would have had
Sox.
me.
Yeah, White Sox. Yeah, that would have reconsidered
Oh
a lot
no.
of your diehard fan. But Logan Webb, we're talking about the Giants. Logan Webb's obviously great. 2.82 ERA, still, doing his thing. Um, Brandon Crawford obviously doing they have, they don't have the greatest roster, but I feel like Gabe Kapler's has done a great job managing them. And I mean they're 45 and 42, but I still think they can
And
make
they
a
play
playoff
well.
run.
I
They
mean,
just they play
yeah.
well. They play great baseball. But I mean, I don't think there's really much. They also have a great stadium. I don't think there's really much else to say about them. Rockies just got Chris Bryant back. Started off well, not so much recently, but I mean, what else is there to say about them? They're really not in the greatest position.
Their pitching's not good because it's
Pitching isn't.
impossible to pitch at Coors
Yeah,
Field.
worst pitching
And
stadium. But and then the Diamondbacks not been great for many years. They
yeah.
have some guys, Joe Mantiply. I don't know if you know who that is, Nash, but having a great year. 2
You know
2.08
what?
ERA,
I saw
34.
his name on the All-Star rosters.
Yeah,
I
he's
know
in
of
the
him.
All-Star game. Yep. He's having a great year. Their bullpen really isn't too bad. They still have Ketel Marte for some reason. Hopefully he can get out of there. But yeah, they're kind of a fun team. I think they can be a fun team more in the future. But
Yeah.
that is we just kind of just breezed. Well, it's 35 minutes. We kind of breezed through that. That's a rundown of the MLB, kind of our introduction to Major League Baseball, and we can keep in touch with it throughout the rest of the season. Once playoffs come around and come talk about different stories and stuff. But I think we should move on to NBA.
Some NBA talk.
What do you want to start with?
I think we could also talk about Summer League as well.
Yeah.
It's been one of the more entertaining summer
it
leagues.
has.
Although every year Summer League,
True.
the games are very entertaining. It's very fun to watch.
Yeah. But what do you want to start with though?
I think we get the elephant in the room out of the way. I don't want to talk about it too much because everything that we're gonna say has already been said. But Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, that entire situation is just absolutely nuts.
Yep.
I mean, how are the Nets this incompetent? How are they gonna let this dynasty, or not even a dynasty, but this super team that they built, just absolutely crumble right before their eyes? Are they gonna build their franchise off of Bench Simmons from now on? The worst player in the NBA.
I mean, obviously that's not true, but I said this before the season ended. I think I said this while they were playing the Celtics, but I thought that they had the worst future. I mean, I think it's kind of a not really hot take, but I thought that they had the worst future in the NBA, and that
maybe Cam Thomas will break out though.
True, Cam Thomas is great,
possible.
but I also thought that Kyrie was gonna be gone for sure after the season. Well, it was after they played the Celtics, because once he played the Celtics and they got swept, I was like, yeah, Kyrie, I think he's gonna be gone. I didn't really think KD was gonna request a trade. I'm not gonna lie with you, that kind of caught me off guard. But they don't have any picks because they traded them all for James Harden. But like, man,
they did the same thing that they did in the Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett trade.
They traded all their picks. Houston is in a great Houston has a great future. They're gonna be set. But
except I don't believe in either. Like, I don't believe in Jalen Green. I don't believe in Kevin
Jalen Green did a really bad
rookie
season. What about Jabari Smith? What do you think of him?
I mean, Josh Christopher doesn't give him the ball in summer league, so
true. I mean, I feel like you got to cut Jalen Green some slack. It is his rookie year. Like, you can't really base everything on his rookie. He has crazy potential. Like, but
no kidding. But yeah, I mean, so what do you think?
Where do I think they're going?
The only noise that we're hearing on Kyrie is
Lakers, and it's literally nothing else.
Nothing has come out, and I'm sure that they're talking to other teams.
Yes, from what I've seen, I mean, I see a lot of things, but from what I've seen, Kyrie is fine to stay with Brooklyn, but apparently the Lakers are trying to trade for him, but the Nets are asking for more. That is what I've seen.
I heard something the other day that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And that Talen Horton-Tucker might be the reason that they can't get the deal done.
I don't think
that the Lakers
they don't want to give him up.
That's what I heard.
I don't think that's true. I don't know. I mean, obviously you can't believe everything, but
I mean, I think it was like ESPN or SportsCenter or something that was talking about that.
Yeah.
If that's true,
that's like the Heat not giving up Tyler Hero for who was it? It was James Harden. Like, that's just man.
Tyler, I'm taking Tyler Hero over James Harden.
Well, at the time it was James. You can say that now, but at the time it was James Harden by a mile.
It was like good James Harden.
This was Rockets James Harden. Last year Rockets James Harden. Yeah. But the Heat didn't want to give up Tyler Hero because he just came off the Mickey Mouse bubble run against the Celtics. And when he didn't play with any fans, now he's not bad, but he was, obviously people are really high on him, and he was, but
sounds like you're mad because he beat your team.
I mean, yeah, but to be fair, he was, his best in the bubble and hasn't even been close to that since. So, I mean, that's just a fact. But
yeah, now let's talk about Durant.
Yeah, Katie. So we're saying Kyrie to the Lakers. I mean, that's what everyone's saying. Could stay.
But I mean, I think I think they won't get it done because the Lakers are
Yeah,
incompetent.
I don't think the deal is gonna get
And
approved.
I yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna stay with Brooklyn. Whatever. Um, yeah,
But
Katie,
KD's a little more interesting
Haiti.
because he
There's
could go
so many
anywhere.
teams he could go to.
First, we were hearing Portland. I was actually like sure he was going to go to Portland, and then Dame signed 61 million a year. Anthony
Yeah,
Simons is on 25 million on a year. Like
I mean, contracts are like
you keep
you can go
saying that,
around those.
but like when you're paying Dame 61 a year,
They can still trade for him.
you're kind of handicapped.
They can
Like
still trade for him though, because here's the thing: you trade for KD, you get him for
no, but here's
it's
the thing. Here's
4
the thing.
years.
They can't change his contract
I know, but like
because
here's the thing: you get KD. If you get KD and you win the championship, which is the goal, and you'll be expected to win the championship with that team. It doesn't matter about anything else. You won the champ. Like look at the Lakers. The Lakers traded for AD. He's not. I mean, he can't stay on the court, but it doesn't matter because they won a championship because they traded for him. Like it doesn't really.
that's yeah. But I mean, I don't think my point is that that's where it was looking like he was going to go, and
Mhm.
now it's looking very unlikely.
Yeah, he is. He
Suns and the
whatever
Heat are
teams.
still front runners, but like,
I think. No, I
who
think the
knows?
Suns are out. I don't think the Suns are going to trade for him. But keep in mind, he's on a 4 year. Like they get him for 4 years. I mean, maybe not. They won't have him for 4 years, but
Well,
they'll. He's on a 4 year contract.
and do you want to bring up what we had been talking about with the KD?
I mean, you can talk about it real quick, briefly.
So I had misframed it, or like I had said it wrong when I was talking with James.
Yeah, you
I
were a
had
little
said
bit. You were stretching a little bit.
I had said something like the Nets should sit him, but more what I mean is like how are the Nets gonna let him just like dictate to them the future of their franchise? Like, since when is that a thing? He
Mhm.
signed the 4 year deal. I know he's a superstar, but like him wanting out should not dictate the future of the entire Brooklyn Nets. Like
Yeah,
they shouldn't like he should not be able to just sit out.
yeah. I mean, I think I don't. I mean, over time, it has made more sense to me, but you know, I do kind of agree with you a little bit more. But I think there is a chance that they just don't trade for him because I think the Nets, when they heard KD was gonna get, was requesting a trade, I think that they thought that they were gonna get a lot more out of with the trade market.
And I think that they thought like we have to do it.
Yeah,
Like they like
they don't though.
immediately
Yeah.
there was so much noise immediately. But it's
Hmm.
like they are the one who has him under contract, not the
Yeah.
other way around. Like
I mean, they can
he
run it back with
signed
KD and Kyrie and be one of the finals
top teams in the
top teams.
East. I
Yeah,
mean,
finals favorites. Yeah.
he if they stay healthy, they could be very good. But it's like
Hmm.
him saying that he wants out. Like I get it, but he
He doesn't. They don't
and I
have.
mean
Yeah, they shouldn't
I
be
guess you
forced to
can
trade him.
quit any other job,
Uh.
but it's a different thing where it's like player empowerment is good, but he
Hmm.
shouldn't be able to dictate the franchise's future like that.
Yeah.
And
Uh.
so it puts him in a weird limbo, and I
Yeah.
think it'll hopefully spark some discussion about like there needs
Hmm.
to be some concrete rules about like asking for a trade and stuff.
I think sitting him though is not that can't be in the equation because
Well,
then you're just
of
But
course,
I do think that forcing him to stay, you know, I mean, can, help in the future. But here's the thing, like you don't need to trade him now. Like
for
the
real.
you don't like the Nets or not the Nets. When the Sixers wanted to trade Ben Simmons, nobody wanted him. Like they couldn't get a deal off, but and then they waited, I mean they waited till, halfway through the year and then they were like, okay, now here's a deal on the table. We'll trade for James Harden. I mean, obviously it didn't turn out, but
But it
whatever.
was a good deal at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, it was a good deal at the time, and they still got, they got a superstar out of him. So, I think that the Nets, they, it could come, it could be August. Katie's still not traded. Yeah, I mean, maybe he does, sit the season, and then they wait, and then maybe in like, when is this
That's what I mean. I
starts in
think
like
it's a
November?
real possibility that he sits a little bit.
Yeah, and then maybe they trade
September, by the
him.
way.
What?
I believe. I believe September.
Oh, September. Yeah, I haven't really. It's been kind of off the last couple of seasons. So, but like, you know, and then they wait. Let's say they wait till November, and then there's a deal on the table, and you can get. I don't know. You can get like let's say the Trailblazers actually come around, then you can get Anthony Simons and these guys and a bunch of picks for blah blah blah, whatever, and then you do get something out of him, and then but
Yeah.
and then maybe
Well,
Kyrie will get traded too. But
yeah.
I
And
mean, they're just in an interesting position.
speaking about the Trailblazers, do you want to what do you think of the Damian Lillard extension? And then for that
Uh,
matter, what do you think of like the Jokic extension and like the
hmm.
Zion extension? Some of these
Let's just go. Let's
extensions that
just
like
okay. Yeah, we'll talk about the Damian Lillard contract. It's everyone jokes about him sticking to the grind and stuff, but like, dude, just leave, man. Just leave the Trailblazers. Like, you don't have to be so consistent and like, persistent with staying with the Blazers. But and I do think that, like, can you imagine what the Trailblazers would look like if they didn't have Dame? Like, they would be so irrelevant. Like, can you imagine how the fans would react if they traded Dame or Dame just left?
yeah,
Like, they would lose
it's
so much
true.
popularity. They would lose so many like ticket sales. I think it's just kind of like you know, he's one of our best franchise players ever. Let's just re-sign him, just lock him up, pay him whatever he wants. He's been the best player for us the last 10 years. We'll just give him whatever.
Yeah, I
Let's,
mean nobody else is gonna give him 61 mil,
yeah. But
so
he would,
get your bag, I guess.
yeah, true. I mean, I think they literally said, we'll just pay you whatever. I mean, I really don't hate it, but it doesn't really set the Blazers up for success in the
Yeah,
future.
it handicaps.
It does. Yeah.
What is the word handicaps them?
Handicaps. Well, I guess I don't know.
I just said
We always have
handicap.
like a talk about like
I
some word or grammar, I feel like
I
every episode.
I forgot how to like. I was mixing handicap and handcuff. I think.
Handicaps. It really handicaps them.
No, I was saying it really handcuffs.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Yeah.
yikes. I mean, moving
Yeah.
on.
Anyways, but I
The
just think that
Zion extension.
yeah, okay, you're good. Yeah.
Or
Keep
I
going.
mean, what final thoughts?
Okay, yeah. I just
Initial
think
your
that
thoughts.
them keeping Dame, just they'll be an average team. They'll be an average team for many years, but they just don't want to get rid of him and rebuild. They just want to keep their main guy, maybe, have a good season, but they're just never going to take that next step with him getting that big contract. But that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, go ahead.
Um, the Zion extension. I I struggle with this because as a college basketball fanatic myself, that is the most talented man I've ever seen walk on a college basketball court.
Mm-hmm. Really?
And
Huh.
he was, yes, it
More
wasn't
than
even
Andrew Wiggins?
close. Yes.
And you're a
Dude,
Kansas fan. Wow.
Andrew Wiggins was an All
He
American.
wasn't physically gifted though, like Zion.
Well, no, he was. He was dunking on guys. He was averaging like
I
20
mean,
a
I didn't really
game. I
watch him
think
in
he might
college,
have
so
even put up almost as good as stats.
uh-huh.
Consensus All American.
Yeah.
But Zion was just amazing. He broke out of a shoe. Do you remember that?
That was awesome. Oh my! I mean, that was incredible. I mean, that was yeah. I do
It
remember
was
that.
just
That was.
unbelievable to watch.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So what do you think of his
And
extension though?
but
5
yet,
year,
like
231 mil.
I feel like that extension was about the worst thing the Pelicans could have done.
Really?
I mean, sign him to a short-term deal.
He's not gonna accept short term deal though. He wants the long
Why
term.
not?
Why wouldn't he accept? Why would he accept the short term deal if he knows that a team that uh one of 30 teams would give him a long term deal because he's incredible when he's healthy.
If he's betting on himself, he could make more money in the
Mm,
future.
he got a max though. 5
I don't know.
years,
If
230,
I'm a young player,
46
I
a
want
year.
a 2-year deal because the salary cap is bound to just keep going up.
I think when you get a max contract, you just take it, man. You
Okay.
don't bet on yourself. You just
Yeah,
take the
yeah.
max contract.
That's fair, but he's just such an unknown. I mean,
Yeah. I
he'll
mean,
play, but
I mean that's the main thing for him coming out of college. Can he stay
his
healthy with
body just
just
isn't
doesn't
built to be like to have longevity. I
yeah.
mean,
He
like
jumps with too much power to not get hurt and just
I, I
plays with so
hate
much
I hate to
power.
relate it to like me playing basketball because I'm no Zion,
Oh,
but
really?
I didn't. Well, I mean, I'm pretty close. We're basically the same player. He's just a little bit better.
Yes.
But he like I used to have like just be able to play and play and play and play. But
Yeah.
I've been at a camp recently, and every day when I get home, I'm like my knees are like buckling because I just played for
Because you cross too many kids.
like of course, but it's like it's so taxing just jumping up and down over
Yeah.
and over again.
And
Like
imagine doing that with
it's
Zion with
yeah,
just his
with a
incredible
Zion frame. Like you
bunnies.
have to be
Yeah.
in such good shape, and even if you are in good shape, if you land funny, I mean
I mean,
that's a
I
month.
think I think it's a given. I mean, maybe not given, but I think it's very likely. I mean, same draft class, next pick, that Jaw gets hurt. The way that he jumps with so much force and just
Okay,
literally,
but he's like skinny.
but still, just the way he jumps and just he doesn't care if there's a person there. He'll jump anyways and somehow like find a way for the ball to go in the hoop. But like, I think it's just the way he plays, man. It's so like dangerous. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
obviously he's not as
I
prone
think
as
it's
Zion, but
inevitable that Zion gets like some long-term tendonitis,
I mean, yeah. I mean, he missed. I mean, it's rough. I mean, I missed all
as
last year
well
because
as
of a foot
like,
injury.
I mean, serious knee problems.
Yeah. What
It's
was it? It was foot injury last
it's
year, right?
just unfortunate. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand it more and more now. Like I used to never
I was
understand how
torn
players
meniscus.
get injured more, like injured so often because it's like I'll play and maybe I get a scrape, but it's like
Uh-huh.
how
Yeah,
are
I
these
mean,
guys so often like out for months? And it's because like your legs just can't do that. It's
yeah.
just impossible. Like that's why LeBron James is the greatest player of all time.
Uh-huh.
But that's a discussion for a different podcast. But
Yeah.
that's the reason. Like
I mean, he
it's
had
just unreal what he's been able to do.
mhm. He had a torn meniscus, Zion did. He had a torn meniscus in October 2019, fractured foot in prior to the 2021 Summer League. So that's two lower body injuries who's basically, I mean, a big part of his game is just being, so explosive and, just jumping at the rack and putting the ball and dunking on guys. But yeah, it's not a good formula for staying healthy in the future. But I just think he's too good to not extend him, in my opinion, for the Pelicans. So I don't
Yeah,
hate this because when he is healthy, I mean, in his second year, in my opinion, he was a top
he's
15
super.
player. I mean, he only can get better from now if he's healthy. So, man, I don't hate it, but obviously it comes
Yeah,
with the risks, and
it's
you
just
hope that
hard.
he
It's
stays
just hard.
healthy. Yeah,
I
but
mean, honestly, I know it was a max, but I still feel like the Grizzlies got sort of a steal with Ja. I
with
mean,
Ja, yeah.
like they're not paying him that much.
If I mean, you at the night of the 2019 draft, you still would have taken Zion over Ja, right? Easily. Like,
I mean, of
you
course,
don't know, yeah. So,
no. I mean, 100%.
yeah.
But at the same time, the difference between Ja and the next best guy was still
I mean,
crazy.
who
I
went
mean,
three? Was it
Ja
Garland?
Morant was no, I
No,
think it was
it
RJ
was
Barrett.
RJ Barrett. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, the jump from Ja to RJ Barrett was pretty insane. But so
And I
that
mean, I guess
was
RJ Barrett. I mean, that draft class is actually stupid good looking back.
Garland's. Um,
RJ Barrett, Ja, Zion,
yeah,
Tyrese Maxey, right? He was in
yeah,
that draft
or
class.
yeah, he was. Sorry, I kind of faded out. Yeah, Garland.
Tyler Hero. No.
Hero. He
Maybe?
was. Yeah, he was Kentucky. Yeah. That's. I mean, you're forgetting Grant Williams, sadly, but
Okay, what Grant Williams is not the same level.
okay.
You know what? If I'm not mistaken, he won National Player of the Year that year out of
It was
Tennessee.
Zion, was it
That's
not?
right. But
But
okay,
he was
but
he was
Grant
up there.
Grant
He was up
Williams,
there, man.
dude,
Matisse
when
Thybulle.
KU played Tennessee, I was having fits.
Really?
I could not stand him. Do you know Admiral Schofield?
Name rings a bell. Really familiar.
I mean, the two of those guys just gave us absolute fits. I think we won that game, but it was just horrible.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
hated playing those guys. They were unreal. Like
huh,
just imagine Grant Williams' skill set against slower, less athletic, like guys who were at his same athleticism.
yeah.
It was just crazy. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, to name a couple other guys from the 2019 draft, Terrence Mann, pick 48. Nick Claxton, 31. Jordan Poole, 28.
whew,
Matisse Thybulle, 20.
whew,
Tyler Hero, 13. Rui Hachimura, 9. I mean, it's just an
whew,
insane draft class.
gosh.
I can't believe the Celtics took Romeo Langford at 14. Anyways, okay. So that was a Zion extension. Talk about some other topics as well.
Jalen Brunson. I
Jalen
mean,
Brunson,
gosh,
obvious
he's
tampering by the
good.
Knicks. Obvious tampering. They're gonna get fined for it.
Wait, what? What they do?
Well, so basically, tampering is basically like negotiating contracts before the period is open, and they signed Jalen
Oh,
Brunson literally in the first minute of free agency, so it's like obvious that there was tampering, but the Knicks just don't care. They'll just like, okay, we'll take the fine, which is just kind of funny, and it
yeah.
kind of it's funny, but also kind of sets up an interesting conversation with how the NBA should handle that, because the teams are just like, we don't care about the
What
fine,
if
we're
you
gonna
dock
tamp
it from the salary cap?
and just like make
Because
the
like that's
contract.
a profitable signing for the Knicks, right? Because
Uh-huh.
now they finally have a point guard. They could
Yeah.
actually be good.
Yeah.
Like
Manuel
if
quickly.
RJ stays good, quickly. Okay, quickly is not a point guard.
I mean, the
In
guard.
my
I guess he's
opinion,
more in shooting guard
having
though.
watched a lot of him in college, another guy who, for no reason at all, just went off against KU in
Yeah.
particular. I think he had like 30 against us,
For who?
despite
He was
being,
Kentucky, right?
yeah, Kentucky.
Yeah.
He was actually a 2 year guy for
Oh,
Kentucky.
really? Huh.
Yes, not a whole lot of those.
Yeah.
Um,
Huh.
they either transfer or go to the draft.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Um,
I think it's a good signing for the Knicks.
but
You have to overpay to get a guy like that.
quickly is a scoring guard. I mean, he just
He plays no
yeah,
defense.
no defense, and it's not that he can't or doesn't pass.
Yeah.
He's just not like
Not a big
he's not a
playmaker.
He's no Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson can
And
distribute the ball really well. Yeah.
he's no me. He doesn't have the court vision. The
Sadly, I don't think any of the
legendary
listeners know how legendary you are at basketball. But okay.
against some
Um,
10-year-olds today. I threw a full court bounce pass, one hand
wow, you're
for
so
a
good.
bucket. I
Okay.
know.
I
I'm
mean, I
amazing.
think yeah, you balled some 10-year-olds.
They let me play with the 10-year-olds and told me not to shoot. It was
That was a
amazing.
mistake. Anyways, we're at
Shouldn't have done it.
we're at about an hour. I think we should move on to we kind of just went through a couple of other free agency topics real quick. I think we should move on to our surprise segment,
Oh
the
yes.
obscure
Obscure
stat of the
statistic.
day. Obscure stat of the day. Do you want to go first or should I? Basically,
No,
I mean, just
mine's definitely better than yours, so you go
okay.
first.
Mine is not like the most obscure, but um obviously me and Nash just find an interesting stat that we can discuss about. Mine's NFL related. His is NBA related, but I will go right now. All right. From NFL research, Justin Herbert's first 2 seasons,
Oh god.
9,350 pass yards, most in NFL history,
Oh, I've seen this.
69 touchdowns, most in NFL
This is not
history,
even obscure. You're just rubbing it in my
300,
face.
300 plus pass yard games, 17, most in NFL history.
Oh,
He is one of 4 QBs all time with 30 pass touchdowns in consecutive years without a playoff appearance over that span. He is going to
still hasn't
be.
made the playoffs. Still hasn't made the playoffs.
That's not a
Still
quarterback.
hasn't
That's
made the
not his
playoffs.
problem. He is
Still
going to
hasn't made the
be one
playoffs.
of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And I think if I could bet money, sadly, well, maybe it's not sadly, but anyways, I'm underage, so I can't bet money. But I would bet money on him winning MVP, and I think that he can be the best quarterback in the league after next season.
Do you think he's going to be greater all time than Mahomes?
No, because he was put in a better situation, way better situation. And
Kansas City's the best place to be.
although I don't know, man. I think that right now the Chargers are a better team. Chargers are set up way better in the future than the Chiefs are. Their defense is way better. His long-term weapons are way better. I think that he can maybe, but you know, and I think dude, that Mahomes Herbert for the next 10 years is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
So Thursday night football this year.
Week
Oh
2.
my goodness. Oh, dude, have
This
you seen the
upcoming year?
Chiefs' schedule?
No, I haven't.
It's actually gross.
Like good
No, I wanted to puke
like
when I saw
you
it.
play good teams.
It's yes. Oh my god.
Anyways, well, we're not talking about the Chiefs. We're not.
But anyway,
Okay.
that's not even obscure. Like
I know. I just wanted to say that.
You're just trying to rub that in my face.
It is an obscure stat, and it just brings up a good discussion why I think Justin Herbert's gonna be the best quarterback in the league after next year, and that he already is top 3, and that he can, and I think he'll go down as a top 10 quarterback in NFL history.
You know what's so funny to me?
What?
And I think you were probably among them, as I was too. Like, do you remember when the Dolphins were on the clock at pick 5?
Yeah.
And everybody on social media was just like begging them to take Tua.
And everyone was like, if they take Herbert,
for the love of God, don't take Herbert. Like,
I mean, neither of us liked Herbert.
So funny. Nobody liked Herbert.
Nobody did.
Nobody liked Herbert.
Everyone knew the Chargers were going to take him, but when they took him, they were just like, man, he's gonna be all right. He's not gonna be that. And look at him. He's gonna be
to be fair, Mahomes is the exact same way. Do you know Brett Coleman on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
Very reputable guy.
Uh-huh.
I watch it. Analyzes the best film on YouTube, in my opinion. Shout out Brett Coleman.
Yeah.
But he had Mahomes as a 4th round guy.
Really?
Mahomes
is raw.
Fourth round
Mahomes
talent.
is raw coming out of college.
People hated him.
Yeah.
You know, Baker Mayfield started at Texas Tech, and I believe was the backup to Mahomes.
He was the backup to Mahomes and then transferred to Oklahoma. And then Kyler was, well, let's see. Kyler was after Baker. Kyler was the backup. No, he was after Mahomes. No, he was a backup to Mahomes as well. Was he not?
What? No, Mahomes was at Texas Tech.
Yeah, Kyler was at Texas Tech as well.
For real?
That's why they hired Cliff Kingsbury, because he
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Wait, what is that? What was that quarterback room in like 2017 maybe? Wait, I'm gonna look up Texas Tech.
That's an obscure statistic there.
Texas Tech 2017 QB room. Because you heard about Ohio State's QB room, whatever year that was. They had Haskins, Burrow, JT Barrett, you know. Let's see, 2017 Texas Tech roster. Their quarterbacks. Okay, in 2017, they had Mahomes. That's it. So maybe it was 2016?
Mahomes was a long time starter.
Was Kyler? When was Kyler at
when was Mayfield then? Maybe we just have no idea what we're talking about.
When was Kyler Murray at Texas Tech? He was at Texas Tech. Wait, say it again.
I mean, so just look, 2016, 2015.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let me look this. 2015 Texas Tech QBs. 2015, the only guy is Mahomes. That's noticeable.
2016.
The only guy is Mahomes as well. Next year. 2016, Mahomes and Nick Shimonik. 2017. Patrick Mahomes. That's it. When did Kyler? Was he just not on the roster? When was Baker? I don't understand this.
Maybe it's because Kyler played baseball.
Yeah, maybe. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I'm trying to look up when he was at
Anyway,
Kyler. Uh, let's see.
two guys that everybody kind of hated the draft pick.
Oh, he
People
was at
couldn't stand.
A&M, not Texas Tech. God. We just talked about that the whole time.
Dang.
But when was
Well,
Baker at Texas Tech? Because he was at Texas Tech.
he was a walk on though. So again, like
2013. That's a while ago.
2013.
That was way before. He
Hold
was
on, what?
yeah. He was
How
definitely
long was
definitely
that
good
man
enough.
in college?
4 years. Yep, 2013. Davis Webb and Baker Mayfield were the quarterbacks. Also
I'm
Davis
taking
Webb, he
Davis
played a little
Webb,
bit in MLB. What? You're taking
not in the MLB, NFL.
you hate Baker just 'cause he was a walk-on, which literally means nothing at all. Nothing
Didn't
at
say
all.
that. I don't hate him because he's a walk on. I just don't like it.
Okay. Give me your obscure stat. Let's go.
Okay. Now James,
Yeah.
tell me who you think in the NBA is the only player ever to
Uh-huh.
record more blocks than points for
Ooh.
their career.
For their career, Dennis Rodman.
Nope.
Is it a popular player?
He's a cult favorite.
A what favorite?
A cult favorite. Like people love him, but he wasn't necessarily like a star.
Brian Scalabrine.
No.
uh
Old. Old and
old
like let's just say his body was not like other NBA players.
Kendrick Perkins.
No. No, like he was very tall.
Very tall. Was it Wilt?
No.
Bill Russell?
Taller than Will.
Manute Bol?
Yes.
Wow.
New Bowl.
That's crazy. What Manute Bol stats. How many blocks? Jesus. He averaged
more than
five
2,000
blocks.
blocks.
5 blocks in 1985. Oh my goodness.
Look at
He
the corner
averaged
stats. He had more than 2,000 blocks per game, or like blocks in his career.
oh my god.
And
Wow.
I mean,
That's pretty funny. In 1985, 3.7 points per game, 5 blocks per game. Oh my god. Didn't even get that many rebounds. 6 rebounds. He almost got as many blocks as rebounds, dude.
because he was a twig.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
I
Well,
win. That's
wow.
more obscure than
It
yours.
is more obscure. Yeah, mine was more of a yeah, mine wasn't very obscure. I just wanted to bring that up. But I think we should this is a good segment. We should definitely keep doing this. Just, educate the viewer and surprise the viewer along with, you or surprise, you or me. But man, 7'8" wingspan oh that's Bull. 7'8" wingspan for Bull. Man, Bull. What team is he even on now? Orlando
Nuggets,
Magic. Oh, that's right. No,
Magic, sorry, yeah.
he got traded to the Celtics for like a day, I think. And then like literally he was on the Celtics for a day and I was like, wait, that's kind of sick. And then he got traded for who did he get traded for?
Dude, his like I and I hate to be blunt,
Oh,
but
wait.
his problem is that he got hurt in college.
Yeah. I mean, he
Because
he played
if
one season, he missed the whole season, right?
if he didn't get hurt in college, not exactly he played some games, but if he
Uh-huh.
didn't get hurt in college, he's easily a lottery pick, probably top 10. And
What
then the
was
Nuggets have incentive to play him, but instead he's a second round pick, and they just don't have to
44th?
pay him, play him. It's
I
like
mean, if he was
him getting hurt has ruined his career.
it's
He's
not like
so
it's not
talented.
like it's not like if he was a like let's say he everything was the same, but he just got drafted 10th overall. You said they would have played him more and that he would be good right now. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I think they would have
I think
invested more into him,
if he
maybe.
was good, he would already show that, and he would have showed that in practice, and then he would have,
I
gone.
guess. Yeah.
But you know,
But they would have invested more in his
yeah,
development because he's so
yeah,
raw.
yeah, very
He'd
raw.
be
Sadly,
breaking
has
guys' ankles at 7'3".
he be
Like,
just like a taller KD,
like
literally.
he's literally a Wembenyama build.
Yeah,
He's
it was
like
first time you
a
brought up
mini
Wembanyama.
Wembenyama. But it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. He also wore a horrible looking suit at the draft,
Oh,
and that
wasn't
gave
it? It
him
was
bad luck. Like the spider thing.
Spider. Yeah, I just saw that. That was man.
Gosh.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man.
that's why he fell in the draft, man. They saw that suit
For
and they were
real.
like, "Nah, bro."
No, we cannot have this man representing
We
our franchise.
and yet Kyle Kuzma's still on a roster with his goofy fits. Okay, I
That
think
guy
we need.
makes me angry.
I know.
I think
I, okay.
clowning Kyle Kuzma is a great way to end the third
Yes,
podcast.
we need to wrap this thing up. Really quick. Um, check out our Anchor. That's where you can like see everything what we're on, our YouTube links, and stuff like that. But we are on right now. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Overcast. We're also on YouTube. It's just Takes from the Lakes. That is the channel name. But and we put our first video was the last podcast, and this video also or this podcast will also be going on YouTube. But yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about. New structure, not just talking about one thing, talking about multiple things. That will be how it will be mostly in the future. Just kind of touch on a bunch of little things, have different little segments and stuff. But yeah, got any last thoughts, Nash?
Um, I think that's it. I think this was a good
It
episode.
was not
Good,
short.
get some base knowledge for some of the
Yes,
other sports we're gonna cover. I mean,
yes.
it's mid-season baseball, which can be slightly boring,
Mm-hmm. Once postseason rolls around, though, that's fun.
but
That's
we'll
what makes
have
it really fun.
postseason and the start of the NFL season rolling
Oh,
around.
can't wait till the
It's
NFL
gonna
season
be great.
starts. It's gonna be
It's
great.
gonna be great.
Yep. All right, cool. Thanks everyone for listening
All
and
right,
watching. And
signing off.
yep, we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.